The Korean car maker, which now includes three brands, Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis, doesn't stop to impress the automotive community with its monumental ongoing technological leap. Just a few decades ago, this was a company that was making cheap but not particularly good cars. Today, it's among the leaders in almost every segment. And for 2024, the Hyundai CEO reveals 8 new car models and shocks the automotive world again. Number 8. Hyundai Santa Fe. Hyundai's midsize crossover has been around for 23 years, and there's no doubt that the next year's model will bring by far the most radical changes we've seen in the model's history. The next generation is ready to hit the market in the first quarter of 2024. And with all the changes, we are sure it will be more successful than its predecessor. It looks just amazing, with that super bold appearance that clearly aims at more adventurous drivers. But the bold and aggressive styling isn't the only major change in the new Santa Fe. There's also a completely new, way more elegant looking interior, with a lot of Land Rover vibes. Furthermore, the new model is bigger and, therefore, more spacious on the inside, while the boxy shape provides extra cargo space too. Under the hood, the naturally aspirated inline-4 is gone, so the offer will now start with a pretty capable 2.5-liter Turbo 4 that puts out around 277 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque, and comes coupled with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. For those who prefer efficiency over driving experience, the new 3-row crossover will also be offered as a hybrid. Number 7. Hyundai Ionic 7. The electrification of the automotive market has slowed down a bit, and many believe that one of the main reasons is the fact that there aren't many family-oriented EVs on offer. Well, the Ionic 7 is going to change that, because it will be a genuine 3-row family SUV with a focus on comfort and practicality. The production model is yet to come, but we presume that the exterior design won't be drastically different from the concept, which showed a pretty futuristic design approach, which definitely makes this SUV more appealing. But we presume that potential buyers are more interested in what's under that fancy facade. There, you'll find a cavernous cabin, which isn't something we're used to seeing in an EV. Compared to the concept, which showed some fancy rotating seats and what Hyundai calls a retractable control stick, the production version is way more conventional and, therefore, practical. The completely flat floor will ensure a generous passenger room in all 3 rows, while the cargo area should offer some respectable numbers as well. As for the drivetrain, we haven't heard much about the electric motors, but we presume things could be similar to the Kia EV9. What's more important at the moment is the battery, which is expected to ensure around 300 miles of range, along with an impressive 350 kilowatt charging speed. Number 6. Genesis GV80 Coupe. Hyundai's luxury division won many hearts in such a short time and established itself as an excellent alternative to German luxury brands. And it continues on the right path by offering exactly what the luxury car market needs. This time, it's about a coupe SUV, a model that comes as a special iteration of the already established GV80 SUV. The mid-sized luxury SUV has been around since 2020, and it will receive a facelift in the next year. Along with typical changes, it would also get a body style with a sloping roof design and a completely reworked rear end. Of course, the front end will also follow the changes of the upcoming facelift and bring a new grille, so buyers will have a choice between a standard mid-sized luxury SUV and its more attractive but less practical alternative. As a part of updates, novelties are coming on the inside as well, starting from a massive 27-inch display that integrates an instrument cluster and infotainment system. Under the hood, the new GV80 Coupe will offer 2 familiar powertrain options, turbo or twin-turbo version of the 3.5-liter V6. Number 5. Genesis GT90. As we just mentioned, Genesis continues to push boundaries, and the GT90 is definitely one of the most important milestones in the brand's history. After a couple of successful SUVs and sedans, it's time for something really exotic. It's time for a sports car, an all-electric sports car. It's time for a 6-digit price tag. So far, the company presented a convertible, but most experts agree that the coupe version should be coming as well. The GT90 stands out with its elegant yet attractive styling and definitely imposes itself as a great alternative to sports cars coming from BMW, Lexus, or Mercedes-Benz. Moreover, with such a design and level of security, The new GT90 may even find its place on their short lists of many of those who would normally look for something way more prestigious. Something like a Bentley, for example. The officials are still quiet about the drivetrain, but if we can trust unofficial sources, base versions are likely to feature a dual motor setup with around 500 horsepower, while an advanced battery with an impressive charging rate is expected to ensure around 300 miles of range. Number 4. Kia EV5. Kia has been in the electrification process for a while, and it is definitely one of the leading companies at the moment. Therefore, it doesn't surprise that several new EVs have already been presented, including the EV5. For now, we know it will be sold in China, Canada, and Mexico, but we hope that Kia management will change its decision and offer it in the US as well, because this is such a promising model with its great mix of affordability and practicality. It seems like a perfectly balanced car, like something that could finally reach the masses and make EV ownership more affordable. The EV5 looks attractive and sports quite an elegant interior, which is highlighted by a couple of 12.3-inch screens and a smaller one that is reversed for climate controls. What really matters is that, despite the attractive price, this model features an 800-volt battery architecture, which promises excellent charging rates. As for the electric motors, base models will come with one on the rear axle, with a max output of 215 horsepower. Dual motor versions will be good for 308 horsepower. Number 3. Kia Carnival Hybrid. Kia's minivan is getting ready for a mid-cycle update, but that's going to be something way bigger than just a facelift. Of course, the list of changes will include typical things, starting from a slightly revised styling. Notable changes are coming on the inside as well, with the new panel that integrates two scenes, in the same fashion as the new Sorento. Moreover, the officials also stated that the sound insulation will improve significantly, due to the massive use of new sound-absorbing materials. But the most important novelty is the introduction of a hybrid version. So far, this minivan was available with a smooth and very capable V6. But now it's time to offer something that's also efficient, and that can keep up with rivals like Toyota Sienna and Chrysler Pacifica in terms of fuel economy. Therefore, the new Carnival will utilize the now already familiar hybrid system, based on a 1.6-liter Turbo 4 with 227 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. A plug-in hybrid is also expected, with more power and the convenience of a respectable all-electric range. Number 2. Kia K5. The era of mid-size sedans is not over yet, and that's why we are so happy to see Kia updating its exciting K5 model, which competes pretty well against some of the biggest names in the market, such as the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry. And now it's going to be even more competitive, as a complete restyling is coming in the next year. Both front and rear ends are getting new looks. Among other new details at the front, you can also notice new LED daytime running lights with a completely new pattern, while taillights appear to be bigger than before. Big changes are coming on the inside as well, where the K5 is going to adopt the new massive panel that incorporates instrument and infotainment screens. Another fancy novelty is the addition of a rotary shifter. Sometimes it's good not to change some things, and that's exactly what we feel about the K5's powertrain lineup, equipped with a 2.5-liter Turbo 4 that puts out 290 horsepower and offers a level of excitement that, unfortunately, you can't find in most rival models anymore. Number 1. Hyundai Ionic 5N. The Korean carmaker is once again about to prove that it cares about enthusiasts. In this case, it cares about EV enthusiasts, as we are about to see the first N-badged EV in North America. So far, this badge has been reserved for high-performance sedans and hatchbacks, but it's time to include it in the EV world as well. And here we are. The Ionic 5 gets a special N treatment and brings a full load of upgrades. Of course, the most important one is in terms of power, where the Ionic 5N doubles the power of the standard dual motor version. In numbers, that would be around 640 horsepower. And even though this is an all-electric performance car, it comes with paddle shifters and built-in gear shift simulation, along with speakers that emulate ICE sound, to mimic the driving experience of more conventional gas-powered N cars. Besides power, the Ionic 5 brings many other upgrades, starting from much bigger brakes and a couple of notable interior tweaks that include seats with better side support, knee pads, and sliding armrests. The only thing you probably won't like is the price, which is expected to start at around $63,000. $100,000. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.